Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Omari Tao and I'm professor of vocal music at Cosumnes River College. I'm so excited to welcome you back to another week of CRC Music in the Studio. This is a weekly series that we offer that we started a couple of years ago during the pandemic in response to it, and in hopes that we could continue to connect our community with things going on in their world, in their community, in the world of music, as well as right there on their campus. So there are all kinds of different ways in which we can take a listen to what our students are doing, as well as what some of the movers and shakers of the industry are doing. So we welcome you today, and we thank you so much for being here. Please say hello in the chat to one another. There'll be a chance for you to ask questions of our guests, etc. Today, we welcome to the studio, James Atlanta Jackson. James is a mover and shaker in the gospel music industry, and we are so very happy and thrilled to have him here, not only as part of this series today to talk with us and talk to our community about his career, but also as a special clinician with gospel choir. CRC is the only campus that has a gospel choir course. It is something that was started by Dr. Precious Bell Craft, and since then has had a number of different people leading it. I am the vocal director of that ensemble right now. But this year, we're going to use the second 8-week session of the spring semester to have a very condensed version of choir. And we're going to really highlight that by inviting our next guest to speak to and help lead the chorus. So it's not too late. In fact, it's the perfect time to sign up for that class and tell everyone else to sign up. It's going to be an incredible, great time. So please help me welcome to the screen producer, director, writer, educator, and performer, James Atlanta Jackson. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Good.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. I am doing great. And I'm so happy now. We've been talking about getting together now for a long time.
A long time.
So we're so happy finally to have you here. I've just wanted to sit with you and talk about your incredible career and all of the things you're doing. Mm-hmm. Sacramento has had, it's my hometown, and we'll talk about where you're from, but I know that it's had a lot of really great iterations of big gospel choirs, and some really wonderful singing going on over the years. But you've really taken that and you're kind of all over the place, all over the map, not just here in Sacramento. There's Atlanta in your name, which I'm hoping you can explain to our audience. And of course, your albums have featured connections to so many different people in the industry. So when we try to make up who James Atlanta Jackson is, how would you describe that? Where do we start? Who are you?
We would have to, right? Who am I? We would have to start. We would have to take at least 3 of these studio sessions. I definitely tell you that. But yeah, so the name was James Jackson and Atlanta Praise, which is my group that I started in 2005, organized in Atlanta. I've actually been in Sacramento all my life, but I'm originally from Los Angeles. From Los Angeles, actually the rough part, from Watts. I grew in Watts, and I'll tell you, that's where the music all began. The music all began there. So I mean, let me try to sum some things up. So, for instance, my mother, she was an awesome gospel singer and blues singer. She traveled with, got a chance to sing with legendary gospel, king of gospel, Reverend James Cleveland, which was one of the king of gospels in the world. Yes. And I had the time to be trained under his tutelage to be do what I'm doing today. And then it was organically trained. It wasn't like, come here, I'm gonna show you how to do this. No. It was like I was in the midst as a little boy, learning, training, getting on drums. My first instrument was a trash can top.
I love it.
A trash can top that I would beat with my fists on the grass, and I heard this big, deep sound. Like, oh, I like this. got a trash can top, got a pot, and all of a sudden I was making some music. I was like, this sounds real good. And I kept doing it. So my mom was like, I want to go buy little James a drum set. Now, you buy a kid a drum set, what does he do? He'll probably just take it and just go like this, right? No, I'm looking at the foot pedal, I'm looking at the seat, I'm looking at everything. I sat down and just started playing a beat. It was like, where did this come from? And so that's what all started. It all started with drums and loving music and listening to my mother. My mother was a chef at a club, and then took an hour break and had to go on stage and sing blues.
Oh,
Little
wow.
James, little James was sitting in that club looking and doing stuff. And when she would run off stage, I'd run on stage and do stuff and get on the mic or play the drums. And so it's like it was
a movie, James. I can see this as a show. I want to see the behind the scenes.
Man, come on, get out your notebook. Get out your notebook, Amari, start taking notes. And so I would sit in this club, and then she would get off stage, and I'd get on stage and started dancing and singing. And if I can, there is video footage. My sister got it. I don't know where it is, but that would have been something great to show you on a couple of things. But that's where my music started as a 5-6-year-old.
That's great. So you started off really young. You were inspired. People were around you, and then you thought that's what you wanted to do for your whole life, or how did you?
It's that I decided that's what I want to do for my whole life, because when I went out to after school and in elementary, I would go to the daycare. After daycare as a kid, there's a piano in this room. Let me sit at this piano and see what I can do, right? Most kids will bang on the piano. They're like, get on the piano. When I sat at the piano, my little hands were trying to do something.
Yeah.
And they started doing chords. So the director's like, let him play. And so I knew the older I got, Amari, I knew I was meant to do music.
Fantastic.
I was in elementary how you go to the assembly. Remember assemblies we used to go to, little kids?
Yeah.
And a jazz band was up there playing. Well, here they go. Who wants to play this? Who wants to play the drum? I raised my hand.
Your hand.
Yeah. I'll go up on the drum set, Amari, and just wear it out like I'm just a rock drummer. So I go to my classroom. The principal called me back down. Little James, they want you to play in the next assembly.
Fantastic.
So it was
amazing.
Like, okay, I get it. I get it. And it just intrigued me so much. I was so into it. It's like I couldn't sleep without doing something music-wise.
Well, it sounds like music will out. It's like art will find a way. Music will find a way. It found its way in you. Not only were you inspired by so many people around you, but this thing had to get out of you, and it was gonna make its way. Before we get too far into our conversation, I wanted to share some music and let people actually hear what it is you do or have been doing. Now, I want to start kind of toward the end, though. I want to start closer to this, and I'm wondering if we can play Heaven Is My Goal, because you put together a virtual ensemble, and it's got lots of energy, and it sounds to me like another way in which you said, you know what, the pandemic is not going to stop us.
Correct.
We are going to make music. And so, like a lot of us, you created this virtual ensemble. So I'm wondering if behind the scenes we have today, the illustrious Lisa Beebe, and if Dr. Beebe wouldn't mind pulling up, I believe it was the number 4 video that I gave you, Heaven Is My Goal. This is a video that you produced. Is this with Atlanta Praise, or is this another organization?
No, this is with Atlanta Praise. 3 o'clock my time, 6 o'clock your time. Hey guys, we got to do a song. We got to do a song virtual. Pandemic will not stop us. Let's make it happen. Let's make the people happy.
Fantastic. Let's take a listen.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy James Jackson and Atlanta Praise. We come to let you know during this quarantine, heaven is our goal. Let's go. Come on, clap your hands, everybody. Come on. Woo. Come on. Woo. Heaven is. Hey, what's up, Atlanta Praise? How y'all doing? Listen, some of us are in Pennsylvania, Memphis, California, ATL. But guess what? We all together today. Anybody come to give God praise? Let's go.
James Jackson, Atlanta praise.
He set my soul.
Set my soul on fire.
When I first felt this love, hey, heaven above, hey, he wrapped his arms around me. Come on, now I feel so safe. Safe in his arms. Everybody say Jesus. Lord, I thank you for your son. Your son, Jesus. Hey, thank you, Jesus. Come on, he died for me. I can live eternally. Come on, come on, come on. Hey, 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 hey. Woo! Come on. He set my soul. On fire. When I first felt this love, heaven above, hey, he wrapped his arms around me. You know he did. Hey, and now I feel so safe. Safe in his arms. Everybody say Jesus. Lord, I thank you for your son. Jesus. Come on here. Thank you, Jesus. He died for me. I can live. Let's go. Eternally. A lot of praise. Let's go. Here we go. Clap your hands, everybody. Come on. Hey. Come on. We're gonna let you know that he is an awesome God. Heaven is the goal. Come on, altos. Where you at? Heaven. Sopranos, come on, say it. I want to see his face. Come on. Tell us, come on and just say heaven. Oh, heaven. Hey. Woo. Let's go. Everybody, come on. I want to see his face. Hey, come on. I want to see his face. Let's go, y'all. Come on. Heaven is. Clap your hands, everybody. Come on. Heaven is my goal. Ooh, Lord, yeah. Heaven is my goal. I shall wear a crown, Lord. Heaven is. Heaven is. When the streets are paved with gold. Hey, clap your hands, everybody. Hey, come on. Heaven is my goal. Hey. I shall wear the crown, Lord. Heaven is. Come on, Cam. Let's go. Come on. My heart is fixed. My mind's made up. Oh, Lord. Heaven is my goal. Hey. Come on. Come on, Cam. Say it, girl. Come on. Woo. Heaven is my goal. Hey. Let's go.
I wanna walk right. Gotta get it
Heaven is my goal. Hey, come on, come on. And let the praise come on. Woo. Hey, y'all ready? Let's go. Heaven is my goal. Heaven is my goal. Come on, come on. Heaven is my goal. I gotta keep on moving. I gotta keep on moving. Heaven is my goal. Hey, let's go. Woo. Come on. Come on, let her praise. How many know heaven is my goal? Each and every day. Y'all just clap your hands for a minute. Come on. We gotta go. God bless you. A lot of praise. Heaven is my goal. God bless you. Woo! I'm out of here.
Wow.
Awesome. That was amazing. I love the dance moves and everything.
Let me tell you something. Oh my God. And yeah. So, that I think it was before I got COVID. Yeah, it was
That's
before I
right.
got
You
COVID.
got sick.
Yeah, yeah. It was before I got COVID. Because you know how the pandemic was just like we didn't know what was going to happen. We know what was going on, especially in my industry, which is this is how we live, you know. And so I said, you know, we got to do some things to keep it moving, and that was the way to go virtual. I did some virtual things with I think I want to send you guys one with the iSound Performing Arts kids.
Yes,
Maybe
that would be great.
yes, but yeah, that was we wanted to just really just make people happy during this time. People were just dying left and right daily, 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 daily with the COVID. And so that was our goal to make people happy and smile and
Mhm.
get them to dance. And you know, I'm a big boy, but I still can move, you know, I still can do what I do, you know. So
Tell
yeah,
them you
yeah,
you proved
yeah,
the movement is all possible.
yeah,
There
yeah,
were a
yeah.
lot all the things in the comments in the chat were very this is amazing and the energy and I
Uh,
mean I wrote power,
mhm.
fun, the sort of energy,
Yes,
excitement.
very upbeat.
Um,
Mhm.
this was I mean
Yes,
it just sort of seemed that I saw 11 faces on the screen, but
yeah, yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
sounded like there were 300
Mhm.
and so everyone was bringing so much energy
Yeah, very
for
much
the cause.
energy projection for the calls, and you don't have to have 50 voices to sound like 150
Right.
people. You get the
Yeah.
right powerful, skilled voices, and I've trained them for over 15 years. So, and I
Mhm.
have about 20 of them, but we just did, you know, some people were
Yeah.
actually sick with the COVID and couldn't do it. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, it
Well,
was.
that was awesome. Thank
Mhm.
you so much for
Yeah.
letting us enjoy that experience.
Mhm.
When you think about we're going to have you working with our students in our community later
Right.
this semester, and we have a wide range of students who come to a class like this. And some of them are skilled singers and they've done this before, and some of them are just curious. They've never
Right.
sung in gospel before. Some of them are not even necessarily therefore, well, the class is a class at a college, so it's not a
Right.
religious course, right? It's
Right.
not a religious group. So some people are just curious about the style of music. If
Mhm.
you say for someone coming in off the street,
Mhm.
um, just they said, I've heard of gospel music. It's very
Mhm.
interesting.
Mhm.
What is this? How would you describe the music
Mhm.
to a lay person? Someone who's just like,
Um,
I've maybe heard it on video, but what is this
mhm.
gospel
I,
music
I
stuff?
I would describe it, Amari, as well. First, we know gospel music come from a variety of Jesus. So many people back. Thomas Dorsey, of course, you know,
Hmm.
the man, and his style was jazz and blues. So
Right.
he intertwined jazz and blues together, and it became gospel, bro.
Hmm.
That's what really happened.
It was a blues
So
piano, straight up. Yeah, totally.
straight up, it was jazz and gospel infused like this. Just
Yeah.
like music today, music get infused, and you're gonna call it a name. Jazz and I mean blues and jazz were infused together because we know jazz is very, you know, skillful and a lot of, you know, just infusion. You know, gospel it's got it's a soul. That's what it is. Gospel is soul music that fills your from the head to toe. You can feel it. You can feel it as like just like inspiration.
Hmm.
You know, so a person that doesn't go to church and doesn't know anything about it feels it's an inspirational feel. It's a feel that it really pricks your heart.
Yeah.
Gospel music, because some music relates to life's experience. Some music relates to biblical things. Some music today's music is relates to the culture. Music changes,
Yeah.
culture changes, music changes. So the gospel
Yes.
music now has little wings on it. You know,
Hmm.
gospel music. Let's talk about gospel music, jazz and blues. Now we got this thing called CCM music,
Hmm.
contemporary Christian music. They call it like the watered down gospel. Very, very light, very, very light, very, you know, and it's a different gospel music. People think it's black gospel music, African Americans, but it's not. A lot of people say everybody's singing gospel music, and everybody's singing is doing CCM music, which the majority of the Christian churches would do the CCM music, like the rock Christian rock music.
Yeah.
heavy guitar, heavy, 2 or 3 words and they're gone. And it's a good, you know what I mean? So, and then now, guess what? They're infusing Christian and gospel together now. And it's
Absolutely.
becoming a whole nother culture and a whole nother genre. And it's relating to the younger generation, the millennials. Now they're into it.
The gospel music really, I mean, for those students out there who are thinking about you as you're studying your various kinds of music, you're going to hear gospel music. Sort of, it is taken on the sort of character of everything that sort of Mr. Jackson just said in terms of this idea of inspiration, this sort of
Right.
soulfulness, those kinds of ideas. So it ends up on Broadway. It ends up in contemporary, in some of the contemporary operas, you will have a sort of a gospel infusion. One of the new operas, Fire Shut Up in My Bones, by Terrence Blanchard, features some gospel style singing in an opera at the Metropolitan Opera. And it's, so you can tell that inspiration idea of that soul
story. It all tells that story about, it tells that story. I mean, do you remember this? Do you remember the gospel play, Amari, called Mama, I Want to Sing?
Mama, I Want to Sing. Yes, I remember.
Yeah, man.
I think Patti LaBelle sang in that once at some point too.
Jennifer Holiday.
Yes. Oh goodness. Yes.
And so, and that got a Tony. That got a Tony Award.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So it really kind of it brought everybody together. I don't care if white or black, and black, blue, and brown. It brought everyone together.
Well, these unique African American gifts to American musicscapes, the soundscapes, really are those things that they're so uniquely American. They end up really getting infused all over the place. People go like, oh my goodness, where'd that come from? So yeah, definitely those sounds there. When you think about, there's a lot of different other styles that you infuse into your music as well. So it's not just traditional quote unquote gospel music, the James Cleveland's of the time, but you put a lot of other sounds in your music now too. Can you tell us a little bit about who you're working with and what surprises we might get when we hear your music?
Yes. So during my my gospel music era, I decided I've always been a trendsetter when it comes to doing this music. So if you want to talk about a good trendsetter like Kirk Franklin, me and my partner, a good friend of my brother, Ivan Johnson, we were kind of doing the music before Kirk Franklin came out, but Kirk Franklin just had the money. We didn't have it at that time. But we were throwing in Earth, Wind, and Fire. We were throwing in pop, intros, Biggie Smalls. We were throwing in all type of hooks in our gospel music. And so I had a chance to start a choir here in the early 90s called the Born Again Gospel Choir. We recorded live at the Crest Theater. And that was in 1996, 97. And immediately when I started writing songs, I just started infusing R&B and hip hop, because I had a chance to do some marketing radio promotions for Snoop Dogg back in the day, and some other artists. So that's where the
notice he just sort of threw in, dropped Snoop Dogg's name. They just
radio promotion. And just Snoop Dogg, nobody important, no. So I had a wonderful, I had a chance to be a part of that, in that, and around that, and so that's what led me to say, let me change this music, because we had a lot of young people in the community in Sacramento. Not saying that everybody was in trouble, but they just love music, and I thought I'd just bring some teens together, and it turned out awesome. I said, let me start putting things in there. We started putting Biggie Smalls in there, Tupac, little samples in there. And I tell you, the kids would be like, like they're at the club, but we're talking about Jesus, but they bumping, we're talking about God, but they're like, hey, oh, I heard.
And James, that's not without controversy, we should note, right? That's not without, and gospel music, I think we could probably just say it. Gospel music, by its very nature, was controversial from its inception. So it's still controversial.
It's
this
still
infusion of secular sounds.
It's always controversial because they didn't want to put. So when you put back in the day, you were putting the blues sound in gospel music. That was blasphemous. That was like, oh my God, we all going to hell. That's what that was. So right now today, It has not changed. It's still an issue, a good issue, you know. And I've always pushed the paper on my music. I've always went to the edge. I've always went to the edge because it feels good, you know. It feels good. So I would give you James Cleveland, but I'll give you Michael Jackson too.
Well, there you go.
Rolled up.
Right.
So do you?
Well,
got,
I mean,
go ahead.
Go ahead. Which would you prefer? What do you want us to hear?
Let's play. Another idea I had with Atlanta Praise back in our around 2008 or 9. I got in touch with the icon, rap icon, Curtis Blow. I said, Curtis, I want to use. You know, it's so strange because he lived next door to James Cleveland in Baldwin Hills.
What? Wow, that's
across the street from James. That was just weird, you know.
Wow.
But I said, Curtis, I would like to use your intro to one of your songs. He said, why are you gonna do that? I said, watch me. So when I did it, I sent it to him. He was like, okay. So let's play "Thank You" by James Jackson, Atlanta Praise. Do you have that?
Got it. I think if Professor Dr. Beebe is ready to go.
Professor Lisa Beebe is awesome.
Clap your hands, everybody.
There we go.
Clap your hands, everybody. If you got what it takes, Atlanta Praise. Clap your hands, everybody. ATL, Georgia. Here we go. Come on. Clap your hands, everybody. If you got what it takes, how could some like you love someone like me? Come on, that's right. The mistake, heartache, even when. Come on, never left me. My security. That's right. Come on, When I'm at very worst, you stepped in. Come on. Grace, mercy. Yes, you did. Woo! I never left. Come on, I'm my security. Everybody, come on, thank you. Here we go. Woo! Come on. That's right. Put your hands together. Atlanta Praise. Here we go. From the top. Come on. How could someone like you love someone like me? No mistakes, heartaches. Come on.
Hey, Amari.
Come on. I never left.
Yes.
Lisa, ask Lisa if she can bell this. There we go. Lisa, can you play them? So because of that song, I decided to do a video. And it has comedian Bruce in it at the end. And also has a gospel rap star. Oh my God. I've just drawn a whole blank.
That's okay. You want to see the end of the video?
Yeah, let's show a portion.
If we have the end of the video, which one is it? This is
everybody clap your hands. Thank you. If you can play some of that towards the end.
It's a party, y'all. That song is a party.
Yeah, it's a party song. Gospel rap artist Canton Jones is on that as well. So
I don't know if she has that one, but if she does, there it is. You want to play the end of it?
Well, we can go to the mid. Yeah, you can go to the middle. You go to like the middle.
Okay, good. We see a little party and then we get the
end. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, let's do that right there, and we can write it out from there.
Shelter from the rain. Come on, heal my sickness and pain. Now today I can say, hallelujah. Come on, come on. Woo! Come on, your grace. Put them hands in the air and tell them, it was your grace and mercy that kept me always. Come on. Always. Come on, everybody. Woo! That's right. Come on. Atlanta Praise. Come on. Kept me always. Put them hands together. Put them hands in the air. Tell them it was your grace and his mercy. Come on. How many of you know it kept me always? Here we go. That's right. Hallelujah. Come on. Woo! Atlanta Praise. Clap come on, a line of praise, clap your hands. Bruce, Bruce, come on, clap your hands. My boy, Bruce, Bruce, clap your hands. Larry Tinsley, clap your hands. Come on, Larry Tinsley, clap your hands. Everybody, come on, clap your hands. Here we go. Woo! Tommy Goss, clap your hands. DJ Toast, come on, clap your hands. Come on, Alana, clap your hands. Put your hands together. Woo! Put your hands in the air. Wave them like you just don't care. Come on, come on. Everybody, come on, clap your hands. Ken Jones, clap your hands. Well, my boy, Ken Jones, clap your hands. Hey, come on, clap your hands. Coco, brother, clap your hands. Woo! Alana, clap your hands. Everybody, come on. Everybody, come on. That's right, that's right. Hey! Here we go.
Yeah.
Great. No, I really appreciate that. Thank you for sharing that video with all of that, sort of putting it to context. It's another party, right? I love the universality, the sort of open welcome, the sort of y'all come, living up to the sort of notion of praise, right? Even if you're not a religious person, my music director used to always say, we were, singing the Messiah or something like that. He would say, you don't have to be a religious person to empathize with the human drama associated with the characters in the story.
Correct.
So there's always the passion play, the Jesus story, all that kind of stuff. But beyond that, in your music, particularly the songs we've shared so far, there's this notion of gratitude, this sort of endurance, perseverance. And so everyone, no matter who you worship or how you worship, or if you don't worship, there's this notion of gratitude and sort of pushing through whatever trouble to get to your goal.
Correct. And that's the thing about Amari, about I try to be careful about when I use the word gospel music, because it kind of puts you in this box these days. So what I do, I call my music just music or inspirational music. It doesn't matter if you're Presbyterian, Baptist, Kojic, Catholic. The music feels good, and it does touch your soul in many different ways. Music touches your soul, it soothes your soul. And that's my motto on my business for the last 25 years. Music that soothes your soul.
Can you, do you know about Broadway Inspirational Voices? Have you ever heard of them? Broadway Inspirational Voices? You got to check them out.
I got to check them out.
They are, this is the kind of world that they live in, right? There's all these Broadway performers, but they do gospel music. And then they also recognize that there's a lot of gospel in the shows that they do, or there's the potential for it, finding that inspiration in the song, and they go like, let's do that in the gospel style. So it's really all you people watching, if you get a chance, it's amazing. The inspiration that comes out in your music, you seem to infuse in a sense of education as well. Could you tell us about your educational program? You have a school, right?
I do have the I Sound Performing Arts School, and so that derived from a tragedy I had in my life 6 years ago. My son was killed here in Sacramento off of Meadowview and Amherst, drive-by shooting. 20-year-old James Jackson Jr. was shot and killed in Sacramento. And so at the time I was in Atlanta having dinner and got a call, say, hey, our son has died. And it just blew my mind. It took me, I just kind of, and I'm still grieving. You just never want to go before your child. And so when the walls look white, sometimes they feel like they're gray, emotionally and mentally. So I wanted to turn that tragedy into triumph by moving back to Sacramento and opening up the arts for not only just at-risk teens, but teens that are just got idle time. The killings have been uptick. A lot of killings are in Sacramento, man, for the last 10 years. And so sad that my son went early, but thereafter some other friends of his were killed by shootings. Thank you all that are saying they're praying. I really appreciate that. But it's so much so, I decided, what could I do to come back and to make a difference? And I wanted to open up the arts, and it's a nonprofit organization. and we'll get a chance to send the website. And I do want to show the kids as well. But these kids are like me when I was young. Some of them never saw an instrument, but they got some talent on them. They got some pipe on them, some
People
lung.
like you with those drums, right?
Right, with the trash can top in the pot and the spoons.
Exactly.
So they and so these we have over 75 to 80 teens, youth right now that have joined the iSound Performing Arts, and we just come together. And it's not just music, but we do life skills class, gang prevention, and whatnot. But when it comes to that music, bro, we just really I got other instructors within the city, some retirees, some college students, some other instructors that I know, and we just came together and formed this consortium, this group, and to teach the kids guitar, drums, vocal, dance, drama, and then we go into the life skills about bullying and different things and how to not deal with that type of thing. So, and our music program it has worked. I mean, they come ready to work. They're excited. They've told friends come, and parents are involved. And so it's a wonderful program. And so once a month, sometimes it's twice a month, but sometimes we will, even just going to see a movie, I would tell them to focus on the music in the movie and see what they hear.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So it's doing pretty good. We're happy.
Listen, first of all, I'm waiting for my invitation because I would love to come and work with the kiddos and at least meet them and see what they're doing. I've seen videos and stuff, and they're incredible. And your energy with them is spectacular. But we also have, our students here some of them are working towards certificates for for being young teachers, etc. So I'm sure some of them might be interested. Maybe we could set up some kind of internship. Maybe come teach a little lesson.
Yes.
They can come share a little piano work that they've been working on, or other instruments, right?
Yes.
Getting out there.
Yes.
I have to say though, before I wanted to share a little bit about your study here, the inspiration that you may have had. Our former chair sent this lovely photograph of you way back in the day. I believe was it Miraloma High School? Was it where you went? Where you were under the tutelage of Grant Parker, our former chair here in the music department. He sent this lovely photograph to say he remembers when we see you with the drum, this svelte young person back in the 80s, practicing, studying music. So I want you all who are here watching, humble beginnings beget incredible, great futures. He said that he not only really remembered you from that, but he also saw you in the store one day, and probably a decade ago, just saw you in the store and sifting through CDs and things, and you were there to pick up your recording, and he of course had to buy it. So we love these connections to see all of the full circle. Super excited. The inspirations that you got and the experiences that you had, and that you're now making that happen. There he is. He's in the right now saying hello.
Grant, we're gonna Mr. Parker. I'm gonna still call you Mr. Parker. Mr. Parker, we're gonna have it out though. That is so funny. Because if I can say anything, Mr. Parker was my inspiration to because he don't let that little he was skinny back in the day, but don't let that guy. And you know how his hair used to just be flying, and when he's upset, boy, that hair be no. But Mr. Grant, he stayed on me, made sure that my grades were right, so I can be able to go on the trips and do things. But he was concerned, like a concerned guy. He was always staying on me, bro, because I was always acting up in school. I love music. I would skip class sometime and go to the band room. And so he was like, no, go back to class. So, but Mr. Parker was a great inspiration in my life. He pushed me as well. Oh, he pushed me and pushed me and pushed me. And I absorbed it all the way in. I took it in. I took it, some kids be like, oh, I don't want to do this. No, but this guy here, he kind of molded me. So He molded me. So Grant Parker is the GOAT. He is the man. He is the dope guy.
Oh,
Yes, he is. I mean,
awesome. I love that.
he
Well,
gave me
Grant,
different type of music as well. He
he let you. Oh, good. So he let you do not just classical rhythm, but also do that. I think Grant is here, could speak.
Hello
Grant,
there.
hello.
Oh
Mr.
my
Parker.
Lord! Look at this. I'm on the Oprah Winfrey Show. What's going on?
This is your life.
The story I remember about you is, and if you look at that picture, those early core drum heads were made out of a woven material, and they didn't put a top coat on it yet. It was just like a weave. And you loved to take the drumstick and you like to rub it back and forth above it to make kind of a scratching sound.
Yeah.
And they're very high tension heads, and you wore all the way through the head by the end of the year.
So I've increased I messed your budget up, Mr. Grant?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. That was just amazing. Yeah.
Thank you, Grant. It's great
Oh,
to
you're
hear your
welcome.
voice. We're so glad to have you around here. Grant is
Yes,
still,
sir.
Grant is, as I said, the former chair of the department here, and was instrumental in my hiring here, actually. So I'm he's a wonderful friend, and of course is still teaching here when we can have him at Teaching Theory. But you can tell we're a family, y'all. And when you're in music, you
That's right.
always make connections. So keep the connections alive. Make it happen.
Which connected us together. He connected us.
See, there you go. Yeah, you should know this person and all that. Exactly. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Do we have that video yet of your school with the kids there? And then I have a few questions from our audience.
I think I sent it to Lisa. Lisa, did you get
Dr. Beebe, if you've got it, we would love to see the video with the young folk.
This also was a virtual video as well.
Oh, they put together a virtual video.
Yeah, because
okay.
we wanted to still keep the arts going. So we went virtual, did a song called Stand Up. And it's about standing up to systemic racism, standing up to bullying, standing up to, a lot of things that were going on in the city as well as the world around.
The Celebration and Healing video, is that what it was called?
No, it's called Stand Up.
Stand Up.
I just sent it to, let's see if she got it here.
She sent that to you, so we can check that out. While we're waiting for that, let's take a look at one of the questions that we've got here. One of the, I think we might have partly answered this already, but we were asked about faith-based sort of choirs and things like that in a sort of a school setting. I think the question is, as we're seeing young people leave faith and religion in historic numbers, how do we work to convince students to join a gospel choir with such historic attachment to faith? Can music exist without the faith-based center? And we were just talking about that sort of inspirational idea, that notion. Is that sufficient, you think, for just the support of an organization like that? I mean, I answer that myself. But.
Yeah, it can happen in a community setting. If you join a community choir, and then because gospel music, of course, is revolved around religion, majority of it. But my purpose for starting the choir was a community-based choir, and it's not just. Some of the kids didn't go to church at all. That was, if you want to say it, that was like their little church or their little safe time or safe space time or time they wanted to be, sing and have a good time. So you can do gospel music in a community setting. If like the community group out there, I have a group here called, I had a group here called the Voices of Sacramento.
Yes.
And everybody didn't go to church. It just, there were singers. We come together and we had a good time, And I have a group now called Radical Praise, which is a little group from Voices of Sacramento when I came back. So, let me bring the group back together. So yes, you can. You can.
Got it. You can. Let's take a look at the video. Dr. Beebe has it ready for us.
Awesome.
Let's take a listen to your kiddos doing their thing.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Your boy, James Jackson. I sound, we come to stand up. The police brutality, systemic racism. Hey, stand up. Come on. Hey. Come on. Stand up. Anybody come to stand up for our rights. Stand up. What's up, people? Stand up. I start performing our part. Everybody, come on, stand up. If you want to change the world,
If you want to change the world,
you want to make a change, guess what?
if you want to make a change,
Hey, stand up.
stand up,
Come on. Stand up.
stand up.
We can walk hand in hand.
We can walk hand in hand.
That's our God's plan, y'all.
That's our God's plan.
Everybody, come on. Stand up. Hey. Clap hands. Clap hands, everybody. Hey. What's going on? How y'all doing down there? Let's go. Let's go, myself. Come on, everybody. Stand up.
Stand up.
If you want to change the world,
If you want to change the world,
if you want to make a change,
if you want to make a change,
open up your mouth and just say, stand up.
stand up,
Hey, that's right. Tell them, baby, stand up.
stand up.
We can walk hand in hand. Come on.
We can walk hand in hand.
That's our God's plan.
That's our God's plan.
Everybody, come on. Stand up. Hey. Clap hands. Clap hands. Come on.
Stand up,
We come to stand up. We're tired of this. No more backing down. Stand up.
stand up.
But guess what? I got something to say. We can stand firm
We can stand
on God's word.
on God's
With our voices,
with our voices.
we can what?
We can
Make a change. We can stand firm on God's word. With our voices, we can make a change. That's right. Come on. On God's word. With our voices, we can make a change. Let's go. Come on. With our voices, I sound this song. Hey, stand up. Hey. 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 Hey.
If you want to change the world,
If you want to make a change,
if you want to make a change,
everybody
everybody
stand up.
stand up, stand up.
If you want to change the world,
If you want to change the world,
if you want to make a change, everybody,
if you want
guess what we got to do? We got to stand up. Let's go. Hey. Clap your hands, everybody. Come on.
Everybody clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands. Woo! Stand up. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Stand up. Stand up and make the world a better place. Stand up. We have to fight for our children. Stand up. We can turn a negative into a positive. Stand up. Stand up to fight for a cure for cancer. Stand up. Stand up racism. Everybody stand up. Stand up to police brutality. Stand up. Stand up to fight for justice. Stand up. Clap your hands. Let's go. Clap your hands. Let's go. Come on, we can stand up together as one. Walk hand in hand. Come on. Stand up. Everybody throughout the world, stand up. Let's fight for our rights. Stand up. Martin Luther King said, let freedom ring. Stand up. United States, come on, stand up. Really, black lives do matter. Stand up. Truthfully, all God's children matter. Stand up. Stand up.
Hey.
Nice. Great. Thank you for that one too. No, it's great to see the kids doing their thing. That's wonderful.
That's their voices. They're singing. They're actually, the first camp we did was 2019.
Oh, it's fairly young.
Yeah. The art started fairly young, and their first camp was learning the essence of music and sounds and all the guitars and whatnot. But then I brought them into this multi-million-dollar studio in Sacramento. And they were like, what we're going to do in here? I said, watch. Oh, so they had little cell groups. Everybody's going to have their own band, write their song, learn it. And so my producers would come and we would carve out their music, produce their songs. And they went in the studio. And then, I showed them how to do production. We showed them how to do production work and how to stack vocals up together. And it was amazing. And so that's what you get.
Where was this when I was a kid? I needed this. I needed that. My goodness.
Right. Yeah.
Great.
So iSound started off like just hitting it. And so now they're so active and they stay. Parents will call and say, hey, man, I thank you for letting my teen be involved. They were dealing with depression. Now they want to do this, they want to do that. And so that's what it's about. You know, we can
But do
save
you
our.
have,
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean
Go
to
ahead.
interrupt you. I'm just
Go ahead.
wondering for our students, as they're
Mhm.
trying to map paths out for themselves,
Uh-huh.
was it always gospel music for you? Did you go to college for that? Did you go to college for having a school, or did you, how did it happen?
No, 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 no. Just throughout the years that I have, you know, I've let this music partake my soul, my body. I just did it out of my heart, out of my soul. I didn't go to college for music, not even for music business. I
Mm-hmm.
learned music business, and I went for a minute, but I learned music through experience.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you can get all you need through experience and not always in the books, but it's good in the books.
Sure.
You're wrong. You get your degrees. You can get all you want. But if you look at some of the major music moguls and rap stars and gospel music artists, a lot of them didn't get a chance to do that because they were too
Right.
busy on the road. They were too busy doing a lot of stuff like myself. And
Yeah.
so it was something that it's in our DNA. Some
Mhm.
people, it's in our DNA. Some you have to learn how to do it, you know.
Yeah.
So I didn't get a chance, but you can really, for the ones that are coming up and getting your degrees, it's not just about money. It's just about the love for what you do. You hone in on your craft, and it makes room for you. And so
Mhm.
once you get that degree, don't sleep on the degree, but hone in on what you love, the love for it, and everything falls right behind it. If you start off with the heart, with the love for what you do. Listen, somebody say, how do you, I've been making money. I'm gonna use my Bionic stuff right now. I've been making money all my life for about 25, 30 years off my music. And the streams of income. We'll get into we'll get into the music industry. We'll talk if you want to talk about the music industry has really uh, survival for with
Mhm.
me. Because I have streams of income. Okay,
Mhm.
not only that I write music, I produce businesses, jingles, streams of income, continuing royalties from a couple of my projects, other folks' projects, um, other major artists. We did some stuff with some Def Jam artists that I still get residual from. Um, oh my God, so, it's so on and so on. There's so much that I do. So
There's
you got
nothing
music.
that's there's nothing limiting you, and you
No.
seem to be. We talked about this in our applied class this week, our
Mhm.
music majors. We talk about curiosity. We talk
Yeah,
about the constant search for the thing that
correct.
inspires you. If these students are on their path, they're coming here to get their degree, but that doesn't mean that they can't be curious and create opportunities and get
Create other
involved and
opportunities. Right,
build a resume and all that
right,
kind of stuff and
right,
make
right.
connections.
And make connections.
Yeah.
And then because of your work, people see your work and you will get calls. I mean, I was doing some work with a couple of rap artists and I helped secure the deal with Universal Records. I've done
Mhm.
some A&R work over the years with some friends at Capitol Records, just just off experience in what you do. And so right now I'm producing a lot of indie artists. There are a lot of artists out there that I mean, they can sing the roof off of major artists right now today, but they don't get it. They don't have that chance because they don't have the tools. So
Yeah.
I am the tool at this point,
Mhm.
and I utilize that. So A&R work, A&R, and a lot of are you familiar with A&R, Amari?
No, I'm not.
Okay, and in the field of in the music industry, it's called artist and repertoire. That
Mhm.
means I'm going to find the right music for Amari, the
Oh, I
right
got you. Yes.
yeah, the right
Always
looks, the
got
right
the gold
sound, the
one. Yeah.
right marketing. And so that's what I would do with indie artists. So at this point, I'm producing in indie artists, man, because a lot of record labels have shut down and
Mhm.
merged together because
Yeah.
of technology. You know, we had
Mhm.
the cassette. What happened after cassette? What CD came? No, no, no. Before the cassette, probably before Mario was born, it was the 8-track. The 8-track.
I remember the 8-track. I had 8-tracks. I had
Okay.
that. I used to wear out the Denise Williams 8-track.
Oh my Lord. Okay, he's telling his age. Okay, all right then. So so the 8-track cassette CD, what's after that? The CD is gonna be obsolete very, very soon.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just about,
pretty much that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So think the music business have changed, they've got, and so now that made it better for the indie artists, right?
Mhm.
Because the indie artists can put out their own music and we
Yeah.
can control our own money purse and the label don't have to just give me 5% of my artists and all art that I put in there. So yeah.
So you learned a lot about this business by actually doing it. So I'm hoping that, well, we're running out of time now, but here we could talk for hours. And I think that we will talk more when you come to be the clinician for gospel choir later this semester. So what I'm sort of going to ask for those who are interested, please sign up for gospel choir this semester, and we'll have another conversation with you to talk more about taking your music, whatever the style of music is, taking it to the next level, being the master of your own material and navigating the industry.
Yes.
Yeah, there are lots of different ways.
Lots of different, yes.
Wonderful. Well, listen, we've got, I think we've got another recording that you wanted to share. Do we want to share the promo for that, or do we want to share another recording? We have the promo for the program, I believe.
Yeah, you can show a little bit pieces of that just to kind of see what goes on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's have Dr. Beebe just share a little bit of this program. Oh yeah, I see it's 13 minutes. Just a few minutes maybe of that.
Just a couple, yeah.
To join with him in teaching young people music.
My name is Nathan Grimminstein, or Nate Grimmy as they call me here, and I was the guitar teacher at the iSound Performance Arts Camp. Giving kids who might not know what they want to do yet, from a young age, an area to practice new things can really be powerful, can really plant a seed in the long run, in ways that other things can too, but they might not be for everyone. So I think that this has definitely just been a great playground for creativity and a great place for people to learn how to do the right things and have positive influences and what positive influences really look like. Place, kids that might not get this all the time or have it, but, need a little bit of extra reinforcement here and there. And that's what this summer camp has really provided.
You can afford it a little bit more.
My name is Walter Williams, and I was
towards the end a little bit, yeah, right there, that doesn't work.
This is music camp, and I love it here. I would thank JJ for setting this up, and Adrian for being like my first friend there.
We were learning how to play instruments, guitar, piano, drums, and in vocal class we learned breathing, and that helped me improve. We learned how to write, we learned how to record in a studio, and the correct way.
Hi, my name is Desiree, and what I did here is that I sang, I danced a little, but I also learned how to play piano, and I had a really great time.
Hi, my name is Kamora Colbert. I sing and I dance. I was in the dance group. The most part of fun was the band. I got to meet new people.
It's something you learned.
To sing.
Piano, dancing,
Guitar.
Oh yeah,
Keep the
rhythm. Guitar. Yeah.
Did you make any new friends at camp?
Yes.
Yeah. Elijah.
Elijah.
That's my friend.
The door. Elijah.
And what's the other boy's name? What's the other boy?
Adrian.
I call him Curly Fries though. Yeah. I would like to thank Mr. James and Miss Tammy. Exactly.
Mr. James, Miss Tammy, Adrian, Nate, for putting up with us.
Volunteers.
Everybody.
And Miss Tanisha.
Yeah.
And you guys would come back next year.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah, you can stop.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Beebe. That's hilarious. I love it. Thank you for putting up with us.
Yeah.
That's music camp, right? No, that's really wonderful. It reminds me of in Dallas. I went to high school in Dallas, and we had the Boys and Girls Club. The Boys and Girls Club. They used to do kind of what you're providing. I don't know if our Boys and Girls Clubs do that here, but you are really doing the work, and that is what it's all about: reaching the community, sharing the thing that you've learned, and changing lives for the better. Truly.
Yes.
So I'm afraid we've come to the end of our hour.
Yes.
But I am so thrilled to have had you for this conversation. Thank you for being here and sharing your story. And we're going to find out so much more. We've got link after link after link in the chat. Please, if you can't do it right this very second, even just open up and create tabs on your computer so you can go back later and take a look at all of the wonderful information. He's on iTunes, you guys. He's on YouTube. Check him out. Go listen to more music.
Check it out by all means. Thank you, man. I thank you, sir, for inviting me, and I'm looking forward to working in the near future. And if I see, like I said, if someone wants to be a part or have youth that want to be a part in iSound, by all means, please go to isoundperformingarts.org. If you'd like to make a donation to the organization, you can go there and whatnot. So thank you. But I'm so looking forward to being a part. There's so much to talk about, though. We have to get
so much to do.
I get another session in. There's so much I would like to share. How music saved me and kept me alive during my COVID. My COVID was the worst thing in the world. So I really would love to talk about music.
This is part one. This is only part one.
Yes.
Okay. Definitely. We'll have another conversation. Thank you, everyone, for being here. We'll see you again next Friday at noon for another session of CRC Music in the Studio. Thank you. Thank you. Bring a friend next time. Tell them to log on with you. Thank you, James. Take care.
Appreciate it. Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.